Tonight at 5, Kohberger's defense tries to remove some critical evidence from the trial. We have the latest from the courtroom.
Near 70 degrees tomorrow, but we're tracking yet another round of rain making its way into the region tomorrow night.
Plus, Spokane police introduce a new method to ensure the safety of those who take to the streets in protest.
Well, good evening and thanks for joining us for KREM 2 News at 5. I'm Amanda Rowley. Mark and Whitney are off tonight. The man accused of killing 4 University of Idaho students was back in court today for a hearing that could have a dramatic impact on the case against him. KREM 2's Regan Gallo watched today's court hearing unfold this afternoon. She joins us now in the studio. Regan?
Well, we know both sides of this case have filed hundreds of pages of legal motions, with the August trial inching closer. They want certain stipulations settled before a jury sits in court. This was all presented to Judge Stephen Hippler, so let's break it down.
After 4 University of Idaho students, Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Xana Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin, were murdered in their college house in 2022, the main suspect, Brian Kohberger, and his team are deciding what should be presented in front of a jury. A key argument from today's hearing: if the surviving roommate, labeled as DM, should testify. DM identified Kohberger in a selfie after the murders, noting his bushy eyebrows matched the suspect in the house. The defense argues her claims are misleading because they say she was under the influence.
Then that night before she got home, she was involved in a drinking game and drank Borg, which is hard alcohol and flavoring. Her degree of attention given this supports unreliability.
There's no grounds to exclude this testimony. DM's the only living individual who saw the person responsible for these 4 homicides. Her description of the male, including any characteristics such as bushy eyebrows, is relevant to the identity of the killer.
Here's a look at 3 other of the main arguments over which evidence should be admitted at trial.
These murders, whoever committed them, were brutal and were horrific. And so I suspect that the evidence will reflect that.
1, such as which calls and text messages should be presented. The defense challenges the 911 call made by the surviving roommate's phones, arguing it contains hearsay. But prosecutors say the call qualifies as an excited utterance under Idaho rules of evidence and should be played during trial. 2, other evidence in question involves DNA. Investigators say a K-bar sheath knife with Kohberger's DNA was found on scene. This knife matches a purchase Kohberger made on Amazon, but the defense states it could have been planted. 3, the defense showed concern over alleged surveillance of Kohberger's Hyundai Elantra. The defense argues the video surveillance cannot prove that the suspect vehicle in surveillance videos is Kohberger's. Other things noted is if Kohberger is found guilty, prosecutors say they will seek the death penalty. And during trial, the defense asked the judge if they could avoid words like psychopath, sociopath, and murderer from being used in front of the jury.
So that would also go with the term murder, I think, to the extent that it reaches a conclusion that the defendant committed murder.
Now, there's still a lot more to unpack with today's hearing, as it just ended moments ago, and it does continue through tomorrow, and we will, of course, continue our coverage. Reporting right here in the studio, Regan Gallo, KREM 2 News. And if you're looking for answers in the University of Idaho student killings, revisit our in-depth coverage leading up to today's crucial hearing, streaming now on KREM 2 Plus. Download KREM 2 Plus on your TV and watch for free.
Thank you, Regan. President Trump announced earlier today he is backing down on most tariffs for another 90 days. On the other hand, he also announced the increase of retaliatory tariffs on China to 125%. Erica Brown from CBS White House has the latest. We'll try to get that story for you here shortly, but let's switch gears and talk weather. We have Jeremy rushing outside, heading towards the sun. He's getting there. He's getting there. We are excited. There he is. There he is.
I'm not even out of breath.
You're not even out of breath.
No.
So we've got sun out there, and it's going to be sticking around for a little bit before we get some more rain back in the area.
Yeah, it's a pretty nice couple of days despite that chance of rain returning to the forecast. And for most of us, we won't even notice tomorrow's rain. 54 degrees is where we currently sit, and as you can see at Silver Mountain, it's a mix of clouds and sun. As you can see here on the South Hill, it's a mix of clouds and sun. Today, a great day. Tomorrow looks quite similar. Not much going on the radar until you zoom out and see our changing weather pattern. There is a pretty decent storm moving in. It's on the other side of this building ridge. Here's some of our cloud cover. There's our storm. And as that moves in, we will wind up seeing that chance of rain make its way back into the forecast. Not during the day tomorrow. Instead, it's a lot like today, maybe just slightly cloudier. Then that wave moves in. It's a cold front that doesn't hit us until after 10 p.m. Around 11 o'clock is when we'll see our best chance for showers. By midnight, though, that's done, moves out, and it's back to sun on Friday. It's going to be a quick up and down trend over the course of the next few days. Cold air continues to funnel in over the weekend, and our temperatures fall back down below average. But believe it or not, average right now, about 55 degrees. Tomorrow, 70 puts us a whopping 15 degrees above that. Partly sunny skies, then rain tomorrow night. 59 degrees and mostly sunny on Friday. Still, once again, that is above the seasonal norm. What's not? Saturday. Saturday's 52 degrees with scattered showers. Puts us a little bit cooler, but coming up, we're going to talk why that scattered shower chance on Saturday isn't the greatest. Amanda?
All right, thank you, Jeremy. About an hour ago, Pullman Police Department Commander Aaron Brashears was sworn in as the new police chief. Brashears worked at Pullman PD for 26 years. Mayor Francis Benjamin offered him the job after the last police chief, Jake Opgenorth, resigned following allegations of domestic violence, which the charges were later dropped. Here is what else we're working on for you today.
You can't change the world for your own child if you're not working to change the world for everybody. Improvements don't happen in a vacuum.
April is Autism Awareness Month. We hear from a Spokane nonprofit about what's different from their first Autism Awareness Month to their 23rd. That story is at 5:16. But first, a new police program to ensure a safe practice of First Amendment rights in Spokane is coming up after the break.